Hello VC. Chad here doing a vinyl update. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful holiday season. It's been a long time. It's been actually not been that long. It's been about a week or so, but I'm usually making a few videos a week. But with the holidays and everything, been busy. So I've got a rather large update today. I picked up a lot of records over the holiday season. A lot were given to me as Christmas gifts, so cheers. We'll get right to it. Mark, Dr. Deadwax, and Kim C. I'm putting your packages in the mail tomorrow. I actually boxed them up today, so you all should be receiving those pretty soon. So those are going in the mail tomorrow. Just a contest update. I've really been enjoying watching everyone's year-end Christmas videos. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to more of those coming. First off, playing in the background, Alice Coltrane, and picked up a couple of magazines. I got a gift card to a bookstore and used it to pick up a couple of music magazines. This is the latest issue of Prog with Zappa on the cover. Of course, Prog comes with a CD, which I've not got to listen to yet, but big fan of this magazine. Try to pick it up when I can, and it's got my boy Frank Zappa on the cover, so had to pick that up. There's a Zappa interview in there that's looking forward to reading. Roger Coleman showed this a few weeks back, and I did not know what this was. I'm so glad I picked this up. This is the Oxford American magazine. Also comes with a CD, which that is awesome. I wish I drove that. Those are records in a some sort of truck. That's awesome. But this is the Tennessee music issue, which is especially relevant to Roger and I, as we both live in Tennessee. But some great writing, great music writing. So check this out. Really good. Thank you, Roger, for giving me the tip on that. And also, not really a music magazine, but an art magazine, the new Juxtapoz magazine. This is although there are some musical stuff in it. Tom Waits is on the cover a few months back, but new Juxtapoz, always glad to get that. So let's get down to the vinyl. Now, this is probably my best haul ever. I've gotten so much stuff. I'm going to see how quick I go. I may break this up into two videos because I picked up a lot of shit. And these first two are grails. They really are. And I don't use that word a lot on this channel, but these two are absolutely grails. So I've not seen anyone show them yet. So here it is. The Flaming Lips first EP. This is on green vinyl. You can see that. And if you'll see there, it is signed by Wayne Coyne. He wrote Wayne 1983, 2013 on it. This is on Lovely Sorts of Death Records. This is a 5-song EP. This is recorded in 1983. This is the earliest version of The Lips. And again, that's just that beautiful. The lighting is terrible in here, but that sort of dark green vinyl there, and Wayne's signature. Here's the story on this, and I'll go ahead and show the second row. It's the Flaming Lips second EP. This is also on Lovely Sorts of Death Records. This is a 7-inch on blue vinyl. You can see there, also signed by Wayne. You can see his signature there. Here's the deal on these two. Wayne Coyne just went on a sort of solo record store day tour out of nowhere. Went to Grammys in Nashville, went to a store in Louisville. He was selling in addition to these two, a gummy head or chocolate skull with something crazy in it. They always do super limited releases. But from what I understand, this is limited to 2,000 and this is limited to 2,000. All 2,000 copies are on green and blue respectively, and all are signed by Wayne. I really wanted to go out to Nashville and go out to Grammys, but with the holidays, and this was completely almost unannounced, just a surprise tour, was not able to make it. But I went to my record store today they had 3 or 4 copies of this sitting there, 3 or 4 copies of this sitting there. I didn't even know what they were, so I turned it over and saw Flaming Lips. Then I looked and I was like, holy shit, it's Wayne signed all these. So it was kind of unbelievable, and they were just sitting there. No one really knew about it. And when I asked the clerk about them, he said, yeah, we had one guy that came out Tuesday when these were released, and he was freaking out. Like, he was there 30 minutes before the store opened thinking there'd be a big line. And apparently no one really knows about this. I was looking online on Discogs. These are already going for like $40, $50, $60, $70. I paid $20 for this one, $12 for this one. This one's going for $50, $60. Not that I really care about that stuff because I'm going to keep these because I'm a huge Lips fan. But really just kind of grows for me to have them signed, to be that limited, to have Wayne Coyne's signature. That's amazing. He's one of the few people I really would like to meet. He's a real inspiration to me, not necessarily because he's such a great musician, but just his outlook on life is very interesting. So there you go. Signed Flaming Lips first 2 EPs. Grails for me, because they're so limited, and also just the story behind it. They were just sitting there. No one even knew about it, and I'm sure by the time I go back to think about it. So anyway, moving along. This is also sort of a grail for me. Not really hard to find, but something I've wanted for a long time that I broke down and ordered with some Christmas money. Thank you to Derek, if you're watching this, for showing this a while back. Great Linda Ferrex Parallelograms. This is on the Cap label. This is a reissue. This has been shown a lot in the VC. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is the only record Linda Ferrex ever made. I think she's making a new one for Sufjan Stevens' label, which should be interesting. But this is so beautiful. This is, to me, I kept thinking Dirty Projectors when I heard this. Just beautiful, haunting female harmonies. Just fantastic. Check this out. Psychedelic masterpiece. I'm sure Nathan or Alice, if you're watching this, you own this. This is just a trip. Highly recommended. Beautiful, beautiful record. Moving on, this is another one I was so excited to find. Found this used. This is a reissue used, but it's the Drones. Further Temptations. Drones were a UK punk band active in the 1970s. This is a reissue of, I believe this is their album Further Temptations, along with single versions of some of the songs. This is a great comp. This is a band that was active, in the late 70s, when most people don't talk about them, and they really should. It's a really overlooked band. The vinyl pressing, nothing great. It's just sort of a cheap, no gatefold or anything, but it sounds really good. That's what the records look like. They're just on standard black. Kind of a thin pressing, but still sounds really good. This is on the, what label is this? This is actually an Italian pressing on the Get Back label. But an import, yeah. The guy said this was an import, so import reissue of the Drones album. If you don't know who the Drones are, check them out. Great punk rock. Bostonian Reggie, Mike, showed one of these and inspired me to check this band out. Gotta be honest, never heard of this band. It's Morphine, Cure for Pain. Or maybe I'd heard of them, I just had never heard what they sounded like. This is the reissue. I think Mike showed a different one than this, but this is, haven't got a chance to give it a spin yet. I listened to it digitally, really liked what I heard. This is a gatefold 2 180 gram on black vinyl. Really interesting sound, this band, with having no guitar player and bass, and using the saxophone in such an interesting way. This is re-released on the Light in the Attic, which this was a decent price. I know Light in the Attic is known for usually giving pretty good prices, but here lately with some of the reissues they've done, they've kind of upped the price on a lot of them. But this was done very well. Sounds really good, and yeah. So Morphine. Looking forward to putting this on. Another reissue. Got several reissues here. Carson Olsen showed this, and I was kind of on the fence about whether to buy this or not because I didn't really know how the sound quality would be. And after Carson's rave review of this, I definitely checked it out, got it, loved it. Carson, you were dead right. Slayer's Rain in Blood. This is reissued on the American label, actually. This one, it said Red or Black Mystery. Slayer inserted 500 red vinyl editions of this with the black. I don't know how big of a run this was. I ended up getting one of the black. I did not get the red, but they're reissuing all their albums on the American label. This is the classic American logo there. This sounds phenomenal. Carson, you were dead right. It sounds so good, and these type of records are tricky to remaster, or they can end up sounding really tinny. This sounds really, really good. A metal masterpiece in my opinion, and many people. There's not a whole lot to say about this album. My favorite Slayer album, proud to have it, and just a masterpiece in my opinion. So of the genre. So Slayer, Rain in Blood. I might try to pick up Seasons in the Abyss, and what's the other one? South of Heaven. I might try to get that one too. Another reissue. There's another thing Roger's shown. I've seen a lot of people, Big Star had shown these reissues. Boards of Canada, Trans-Canada Highway. This is just the EP. I showed the Music Has the Right to Children a while back. This is also just a reissue on Warp. Not my favorite EP. I really wish I would have got In a Beautiful Place Out in the Country, or whatever it's called. I like that one better, but I saw this one there, so I picked it up. And it's okay. It's not my favorite Boards of Canada, but getting it sort of for completist purposes. Okay, this is not a reissue. This is a live album. Rob from Boston, if you're watching. Smith's Rank. This is a absolutely rockin' live album. I have never really heard the Smiths live. I'm a huge Smiths fan as far as their studio albums, but I've never really checked them out live for whatever reason. And they were a lot more hard rockin' than I thought they would be. Johnny Marr, obviously front and center. Band sounds really great, really tight. Great set. Queen is Dead, Panic, Ask, Boy with a Thorn in His Side. This is just a really good set. Great snapshot of the band, sort of at their peak. This is on Sire Records. Proud to have this in the Smiths collection. Very impressive live set for those of you wondering what the Smiths were like as a live band. I've got a ton more records to show, but I'm going to see how many I can get before it gets too long, because if it gets too long, people quit watching. Proud to have this in the collection. This is probably going to turn a lot of people off, and I'm actually planning on doing a video by the end of the year on this guy, on my opinion of this guy. I think it'll ruffle some feathers in the VC, but I got something to say about this. But anyway, Kanye West, Late Registration. This is on the Rockefeller label. This is an original. Not all that hard to find, but you don't see it, as far as like, you know, the amount. There it is, Kanye on the Rockefeller label. Not all that hard to find in the amount that there was plenty of these records made, but you just don't see a lot of used hip hop in the wild. People just either hang on to it, or record stores don't buy it because they think no one will get it. So I understand that there's plenty of these out there. It's just you just don't really see them. You can order them, but I mean, as far as just in the used record stores, so when I saw this, I had to pick it up. I think this is a phenomenal album, and I am a really big Kanye West fan. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on this, because you'll see. But anyway, Kanye West, Late Registration. Proud to have that. This is another awesome one. No one's going to know what this is, but you guys should check this band out. This, for the cover alone, look at that cover. This is a band called Cool Runnings. This is an album called Dracula is Only the Beginning, and this is on the Dracula Horse label. This is a local Knoxville band. These guys are from my hometown. I don't think they're active anymore. They were very active in the 2009 to 2012 era. They really came up. One of the guys in this band was in the band's Royal Bangs, which is another Knoxville band, which got somewhat big. They used a Flaming Lips producer. They used a Black Keys drummer to produce an album, so they're kind of getting somewhat big. But he broke off from them and started his own band. And I think this is a phenomenal record. I think this is one of the top 10 best records ever made in Knoxville. Very dream pop, very psychedelic, very but sample based too. It's a lot, but also a lot of guitar leads. It's really unique and strange. The songs are memorable. The hooks are there. A lot of personality. Two singers, two songwriters. A really good. It's a really good, interesting album. If you're interested in this band, all the stuff's online for free at DraculaHorse.com. I believe that's what it's called. They have several other EPs. Check them out. It's weird shit, but it's really cool. And I knew that they did a very limited vinyl run of this, and it was actually in my used record store. I wasn't able to get it when it came out. So Cool Runnings, Dracula is only the beginning. Check it out. They were part of the whole what was that genre? The Neon Indian and Washed Out, Chillwave. They were sort of coming up around Chillwave, and then Chillwave disappeared, which may or may not be a bad thing, but that's a good album. A few more here. Juggernaut of an album. Ornette Coleman, Change of the Century. Just sort of getting into Ornette Coleman, listening to this and The Shape of Jazz to Come, or The Future of Jazz to Come. Wow. What can you say? Wow. This is incredible. Just the big fan of the percussion on this album, the way the percussion relates to the horns, the way they play off each other. Just tight as hell. Really memorable main riffs. The heads of the songs are very memorable. This is just a reissue, but got it cheap, like $13, sealed reissue. So on Atlantic, had to have that. A few more here. One of my favorite albums of all time, Pixies, Doolittle. Actually got to see this album performed live in its entirety, which performing the whole album thing, that's kind of getting kind of lame, but still I wanted to see him. This is when Kim Deal was still in the band. This was a few years ago. I saw them perform this at the Ryman, and it was great. There's not a bad song on this. It really is their best album in my opinion. It's the one everyone likes, and I think that's for a reason. I think this is a reissue on 4AD. Lots been said about this, so we'll move on. But one I did not have, and now I do. So I'm going to keep on trucking along for just a few more minutes. Saw this in the used bin for $3. Ministry. This is Twitch from 1983. This is on the Sire label. I had never really listened to much Ministry. I knew that this was worth $3, and it was. This is a really nice, clean copy. It's very thin, but I believe this is an original. I was shocked, and this sounds kind of like a truism, kind of stupid, but how much Nine Inch Nails really took from Ministry. This sounds like Pretty Hate Machine, pretty much. It's unreal how much Trent Reznor borrowed from them. Don't want to listen to industrial music all day, but you see something like this for $3, I mean, I'm going to pick it up. So, and it's pretty good. It's very 80s, production's very 80s, but still, cool album. This is a reissue. This is a Christmas gift, something I didn't have that I used to have a long time ago, but Bad Brains' debut album. This is a reissue on Reach Out International. Nothing fancy here, but doesn't really need to be. This holds up. This is, I think I prefer Minor Threats, Complete Discography, or whatever that album is, compared to this, but this is probably number 2 for me on the best hardcore albums of all time. Just phenomenal. Just so much personality, so much anger. Love this. Proud to have this in the collection. Let's keep on trucking along. Another Christmas gift. This is on the Sundays label. 13th Floor Elevators. This is a mono edition. I have the stereo edition somewhere right over here. The mono sounds so much better. It really does. That's the way this is meant to be listened to. My wife got me this for Christmas, and just immediately put it on. It sounds amazing. So again, thank you Nathan Morales for turning me on to this band. Really glad to have that in mono. A few more jazz albums. We'll get through these kind of quick. I want to just go ahead and show everything. This is the whoa. This album just took my head off. Mahavishnu Orchestra. This is the Inner Mounting Flame. Knew about these guys for a long time now, and I always liked this album, which I also picked up this week for $6. Birds of Fire. And I'd never listened to this one, and everyone said, "Oh, Birds of Fire is better than the Inner Mounting Flame." I really disagree. They're both great albums, but this just has so much energy. And John McLaughlin's playing, while it is incredibly, earth-defying badass on this, it just, I don't know. To me, I prefer this one. Glad to have both of these. Picked both of these up for, I think, $7 and $6 this week. So both these are on Columbia and kind of beat up, but they sound really good. So no problems with the playing. So glad to have those. This was a disappointment. I had been hearing a lot about this band when you talk about jazz music. Modern Jazz Quartet. Classic Dreams. I did not like this at all. I think I need to go back a little bit earlier in the Modern Jazz Quartet. Did not like this at all. Just sounded like elevator music. I may be in the minority there. This is on, I don't know what it's on. Oh, it's on Atlantic. Yeah, and just wasn't feeling it. So I don't know. This is a jazz one that I definitely was feeling. This is on ECM, Inflation Blues, John DeJohnette's special edition. This is from 1983 on the great ECM. I am collecting ECMs, so I saw this there. It's got a little bit of wear on it, you can see, but I got it at a really cheap price. The playing on this is fantastic. There you see the boys. Inflation has taken its toll on them, I'm assuming, and a woman is trying to support them as they've been evicted, I'm assuming. But the playing is incredible. The drumming, it's just it's phenomenal. It really is. This is a stellar album, as are most on the ECM label. I've got 3 more, if you will just bear with me here. This is one that we won't spend a lot of time on because it's a freaking classic, but it's Miles Davis Bitches Brew. Did not own this. Saw this for $8. The reason it was $8 is there is a lot of wear to the cover, especially on the inside. The woman actually told me that there's a ton of ring wear on the inside is why that it was so cheap. But I think this is a early repressing. It is still in Columbia. Sounds great. There's a little bit of surface noise as to be expected, but a double LP of this magnitude, something that usually goes for 17, 18, 20 bucks used. Just a decent copy, for $8. I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm glad I did. Glad to put it in the Miles collection. Love it. So got that. 2 more. This is another classic that just didn't own. I'm trying to build up my nuts and bolts of my collection. People complain and say, "Oh, the stuff's shown in the VC, it's shown a million times." Yeah, I understand, but I still need to pick up stuff for my collection that I just don't have. This is a classic album, Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. At this point, I think I have most of Neil's stuff. Just didn't have this one for whatever reason. Used to have it on CD, or I think I still have it on CD. Know every song, but just didn't have it. This is on Reprise. I think this was a fairly early repressing. Just sounds phenomenal. Great songs from the American hymn book. And lastly, the last record I have. This was a Christmas gift for my brother-in-law. This is The Ventures, Volume 2. Walk, Don't Run. Not got a chance to listen to this. The only Ventures album I have is the one with the big wave on it from Wipeout. So interested to see what else they have in their catalog. I'm sure they have other things besides Wipeout. I do dig the guys there just kind of checking out the girl in a creepy way. But that's We got through this in 25 minutes. I hope you're still watching. You're probably not. But anyway, I'm going to make some more videos this weekend, I think. Going to do that Kanye West video. Just got something to say about the guy. And maybe show some more records. We'll see. Anyway, I'm glad to be back. Please leave comments. Hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas. Cheers.